I have my suit, but I'm for some reason I was like, I'm going to post pictures of it and it will be like a big thing, or I'm going to reveal it on stream, and then for some reason I got so nervous that I just haven't done it yet. I haven't posted any pictures of my fursuit, so it's just sitting in my room and I'm not using it for anything.
You should just be wearing it while you're playing, so we get the
guys
hacks.
You don't want that. It would smell so bad in like 20 minutes. It gets so warm in my room.
You know, to our benefit, that doesn't come through on Discord.
It would though, trust me. I don't know what it is about Foundry, but it makes my graphics card spin up, so it just gets so hot in my room.
Yeah, it does that.
The last 5 minutes before every show activates my fight or flight response.
Uh-huh.
It's time to fight.
I don't understand the feeling.
I'm not scared of Ka, I'm scared of performing. This Ka can just fucking fear and hunger me. I don't give a shit. I live for that kind of game.
We've yet to have a mid-season character death. We've had a finale character death.
Let's hope
I was thinking
this...
about character deaths non-stop after our first fight because of how endangered people immediately were. That were
the strongest.
I'm on merch.
Who is arguably the strongest fighter just gets bodied and knocked out in one hit.
Okay, I mean, let's be clear. Everyone's praising the amazing rolls for Snapper that were literally just the same number I did that same fight.
Like,
I'm back.
Welcome back.
You guys want to hear a good sound?
I do.
Maybe.
That's not
a good pussy sounds like.
That's
macaroni in a pot.
It's Cheesecake Factory fettuccine Alfredo.
Ooh,
Oh, there we go.
None of us saw Snapper's cool eye trick, right?
If someone said like they were closely observing them, I would have given them a check, but no one seemed to really pick up on it now.
A whole lot of like aimless
It's a vision of the
meandering at that
future
point.
and immediately passes out.
Immediately receives medical attention.
Got attention.
Things are
just
going
wasn't
very
great.
differently so far.
Yes.
I was curious, did you record that this week or a month ago?
Oh, the sandals thing?
Yeah.
2 hours ago.
2 hours ago.
Look at that sprite.
Jesus.
That eye is incredibly upsetting.
Custom background music by Sage the Deer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What's the name of the song? Consecrated. Very cool. Turn it up so people can hear it better.
Teacher's been doing good work. This is cool.
That's upsetting.
Absolutely.
I feel like bad vibes from this place.
Yeah.
Few.
In general, rancid vibes.
Uh-huh.
We
either
covered
a very, very smelly fursuit manufacturer or the worst room that's ever existed.
Yeah.
Could be both.
This is a very Elden Ring room.
We covered every single possible lead up to this, and it still was upsetting. Every possible permutation we were able to take care of, and then we still got here, and it still made me upset.
You don't tend to like a guy who has an eyes corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A corner where he keeps the eyes.
Yeah.
It's the eye pile.
His
pile.
The aisle.
His iPod.
This is his iPad. He likes to chill here.
It's his iPad.
No, we're not gonna let Ka have that one. It's
Too
not,
late. It's in.
It's not okay.
Oh, thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this session as much as we did. This was a fun one. This one was a long one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right.
It was good when I got to stop trying to cry.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we are past the cut, we can go ahead and check what skills leveled up.
Yes, let's do that.
Oh yeah.
I got a lot of them. This one's not gonna.
Let's see.
Wait, we want to roll above, right?
Yeah, we want to roll above for these.
You want to fail the check.
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. I got 10 on charm.
I've got 5 skills to check.
And then it's
Yes.
and then it's a D10 that we roll.
Yep. And if you
I think I
roll
learned
above 95, that's a success, even if your skill's already above 95.
I keep rolling 8s on these improvement checks. It's crazy. It's happened so many times. And don't forget to increase your luck as well.
A D4 luck.
Rolling for listen.
I may not have any luck.
Oh, wait,
with
100's the
increasing
good number,
skills.
right?
For this particular roll, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled the perfect roll. Do I crit at leveling?
You just typed the number 100.
Oh, did I really?
Yes.
I did. You're right.
So it doesn't improve.
I definitely just said roll 100. Oh, well, I basically rolled 100 again.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
Okay,
Right.
send. It's not going
What was that?
All right, so that's,
Okay,
that's 7
pass
more
that
listen.
I
I've
can't
got
believe oh, let's go.
my
spot is gonna be
what big ears I
ridiculously
have.
good.
I'm rolling dog shit right now.
So
Come on.
my stealth and my
I
charm
rolled
went
a
up.
1, but
Oh, and a reminder for people listening, we do not have a session next week.
Yes, we do not have.
Yeah.
a
What the
session
Fucking
next
bombshell to
Next week we
Leave
have
off.
a big meetup in
Yeah.
real life, so we'll
Yeah.
be busy.
We're gonna hang out
Alright,
and
rolling
plan
for
things.
fight.
We're gonna scheme.
That is not a fight increase.
Okay,
so
so
I'm not.
that
I'm not
doesn't
getting better
matter.
at doors.
and
Rolling
luck's a
for rope
D4.
work.
Luck
Yeah,
is a D4,
luck's a
yeah.
D4.
No,
Oh my
it's
god!
bad.
Literally, the best rolls I've rolled all session are right now. This is not okay. I had like 80 skills tagged, and I was able to increase 2 of them.
You're in your cultivation era.
Oh, that's more.
no.
That's more rope work. No. It's a bad
Good.
increase number.
Good. You keep trying to make rope work,
I have a skill.
and it always fails.
It's your fetch.
I was canonically a rigger last season, and it never came up.
It's been
that's a bad
it's been
roll
so
for a
many
climb.
years since you've actually done that work.
One day you'll get to drive a
Command that-
car.
Rolling for
Yeah.
spot. Yeah, I still have a driving skill from season 1 that never came up. And spot. No. Wait. I only raised 1 skill. Oh wait, no, that's higher than my 25 spot. That's good. 2 more spot. No, both my skills only went up by 2 this time.
What about your luck? Oh, you got 2 luck. Oh, how you got 2 luck?
Yeah, I got 2 luck back. It's something.
I got 3 luck.
Do I have the least luck out of all of us with only 31 left?
I have
have less than that
27.
now.
I've
Oh.
been saving up to get to 27 over the last
I
month.
have 23.
Do I have
'cause
the
you
I really
least
wanted that
luck?
hypnosis check to work.
I started with like 30 luck to begin with and spent like 12 getting a bar, which has paid off, but I spent an entire month trying to get that luck back.
I can't believe we
I think-
tied up and dropped the stab dude down to the boat. It's like a very
Uh-huh.
funny.
I don't understand why we did that. I don't understand why he's on the boat. It
You
doesn't
could
make
have
any
just
sense.
lowered him down too.
But this was funny.
Oh,
I just
God.
don't know why we would take him. I don't know what putting him on the boat. That's such high risk. That's crazy.
But have
Hey,
you considered that he's hot?
Jed has
Sure.
the insane
Always-
outlook of not slitting the throat of tied up people that have been defeated already.
Great, they haven't been defeated already because we live in a world full of monsters where people can Hulk out and break out of
That's
their ties.
never happened
like,
in this story.
Not correct. That happened to Rick Ryder in Dead Laws, and it was very bad
I'm saying,
for us.
No, I'm saying like
That happened to
Keaton
Keaton.
can't behave based on that information. Keaton has never
She
seen
can,
anyone
though.
transform into a monster.
Oh yeah.
She saw Melvin.
That took a year.
Yeah, no, we live in a creepy nightmare world where monsters exist, and it's very,
Keaton-
very.
Melvin's
and this
nice.
guy tried to kidnap her.
Keaton
Hey,
is
so-
one of those monsters if she's just trying to stab people
Melvin's
who
a
are
very
tied up.
nice. Melvin's
No,
a very
she's
nice
not.
centaur, and Keaton is a normal rabbit who stabs people.
No,
So this is bad math.
Keaton is a young woman looking out for herself when a potential assaulter tried to kidnap her, And as far as she's concerned, this is reparative justice. Those are very, very different situations.
Javier's on board. Although, hey, silver lining here. We don't know.
We
if
know
he's really
Javier's on board. He blood fountained us.
Yeah.
No, knives.
We don't ask
know if
Javier's
he's-
vote. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I opened up with saying, like, hey, obviously I want to kill him. We don't know if he's a true believer or not, though. So maybe him being kept away from the rest of the shit going on.
Walked back into the chapel. We saw him.
He was like,
he
oh,
might,
I gotta
he
meet
might be looking out for
Dakota.
himself. He might be looking out for himself.
Yeah.
You know? We don't know what he's up. We don't know.
That's what I was
his angle
hinting
is.
at, like at the when plans were happening, and I was like out of character, like not as Jet, hinting at like I don't know, maybe Dakota can turn him because like.
Sure.
I don't know if he actually wants any of this, or if he's just like, if I keep chopping off wrists, then I don't get murdered this week, which is kind of how things look like they've been going. I'm just saying that more people would succumb to the Silent Hill cult than would necessarily believe in the Silent Hill cult because of all of the flayings that are happening, and they're like, I don't want to be in the flaying table.
I don't know if I believe in reparations for Silent Hill cultists. Like, I don't know if we can rehabilitate them at that point, or if it's even really worth the effort. That's pretty fucked up. One thing I wanted to look at, let's see, prison roster. Let's see here. Where's a Wolverine on this list?
It's not like an excuse or an apology or forgiveness. It's just like, oh god, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck. Might be the thought process.
There's a solution.
No, I like that our characters don't agree. It makes it funnier. Like,
insane.
I feel like I'm just an enabler at this point.
Dakota, you're the smart one, okay?
The one who doesn't make final decisions on any of these situations.
That's like classic manipulator behavior.
So his name is Ben Dover.
Whatever people think, I'm on their side. Who the fuck's
Okay.
named Ben Dover? I'm
I'm
sorry.
And
we're
I
finding
want
that out
you-
now.
I want you to all know he's been in prison for almost 20 years now. And he was in prison for life, which means he probably is a vicious murderer and maybe an assaulter.
Have
which
you
is
considered
really bad.
that Jet can't read?
So
You
all
named
I'm
the
saying-
Wolverine Ben Dover?
Yeah.
Does that
That's his
make?
name.
I guess that makes that the Cliffs of Dover.
And I want to be very clear about this. He has Hugh Jackman bod, or he was arrested at 18 because he has been in prison for 20 years. So, yeah, this man is a very bad person. He was in jail. He was gonna be in jail for 40 something years. And as of less than 12 hours prior, he tried to kidnap and kill us.
None of this was the argument.
I just think it's self-evident. That's all I'm saying.
I
That's
just
what
think
I'm
there's
saying.
a lot of people who don't want to slice the throat of people that they've already subdued.
And those people don't need to do it. Keaton will do it. Keaton and Javi will do it.
It's funny because I remember in the chat from like one of the earlier episodes being like, that's not self-defense, Javier. And Javier, if he could have responded to that in the chat, he would have made the case for why killing these people is self-defense.
It's self-defense.
Yeah, 1000%.
I'm just saying that when Popcorn Boy gives you a free hogtied inmate, you just send him to the farm. You just throw him over there.
That's what we were. That's
and
what
then
we were
don't have
doing.
to deal
We
with
were
him
sending him
anymore.
to the farm in the sky.
Not as euphemistically. Mostly just like you kind of throw him over there.
Well, he's. I'm not worried about him now.
It says Chapel Roan. I still don't know who that is.
That's where we went.
Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
People care. I have had several. I've had several retro springs over the last year asking me my opinion of Chapel Roan, and I don't know what it means.
She's a musician who blew up recently. Yeah.
Yeah. I also didn't know who she was, and my friend told me, Stagecoach told me, he said, you are not allowed to not have an opinion on Chapel Roan. If anyone asks you how you feel about her, you have to nod your head and say yes, that she's great.
Yeah.
This is the first
Nod
I've
and
heard
say
of her.
work.
I strongly disagree. You're very much allowed to not have an opinion.
I was like,
You of all
okay.
people would not really have a strong opinion. So
Placeholder gay
It's like I don't.
answer.
I was like, okay, that sounds great. Yeah, she's awesome. Who's Sabrina Carpenter? Who's Olivia Rodrigo? I've never heard of these people before.
Yeah.
Oh, they were all made at the Disney factory? Okay, never mind.
Oh, at least I can say for Chapel Roan, she was not made at the Disney factory, so that's the one cool. She was like an independent artist who just like blew the fuck up or whatever.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Look at these comments. Who is Sandals? No, really, who is he? Dakota feels left out, frowny face.
Yeah, the only thing I know about Chapel Roan is that she was signed to like Empire Records or something like that, and then they dropped her, and then now she has like a bunch of like songs that are in the top of the charts or whatever, and it's like, ooh, some executive is like fucking fired somewhere. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else on the notes I need to add?
That's good to me.
Okay.
Oh, did you journal?
Yeah.
How do I
Like
see-
some of it, like
Main
some of it's hard
wolves
to
smell
journal
like
when I'm
weed.
actively participating in a scene, but
Oh, true.
Oh, it switched back to a different page of, damn, bitch, you live like this? This kitchen is rotten. Also, chat, don't read, viewers at home, don't read too much into no signal. It just means there's not room art.
Yeah,
Yes, that's my go-to for I didn't get this drawn.
Yeah, it's just moments of like, listen, we don't have every single room. We're gonna be here for 30 seconds.
Because there's a lot of hallways. And don't draw high.
It's a minor encounter. It's like those
Unless I draw
places that
one
happen
hallway.
between the map locations in Dragon Age, where you're just kind of in a field.
Is there anywhere we've never set foot in here? We haven't set foot in the
The
break
library.
room, storage library is like the most major. 'Cause, you know, we've got little bathrooms connected to other things. Those aren't.
So
There's a
this,
security office too that could have had stuff useful to Keaton.
yeah, she was in there earlier.
Okay.
There wasn't anything in there. I was in there in episode 1.
That was an interesting session. Because like from my perspective, Jet's history is still not fully written as far as what the fuck happened with Cape Karma and what this exactly means. So when he sees Doreen's clothes, that's too much confirmation. That's too real. And he very much immediately is getting out of the prison was his response, because that would have been something he would have seen. And that's not good.
One thing I want clarity on, Ka.
Yeah.
Jet was referring to the watchtower as a lighthouse, but it is like it's more like a panopticon watchtower with a light in it, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
But it's
was
still
like-
mysterious as fuck because it has a secret
Yeah.
entrance. Apparently, what the
And-
fuck?
You can
Yeah.
see how he would make that leap.
It's symbolically
Yes.
a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't know that Beck exists.
Oh yeah, sure. I was asking for clarity because I didn't know how it was described at first, so I just wanted to make sure I understood, because basically you're jumping to the same conclusion I am. Like, a lighthouse is a very specific thing that Beck is, so I didn't know if this was literally another lighthouse, so I have to prepare for Beck stuff, or if this is just like something symbolically calling the motif back as like a similar but different type thing. So that's what I was getting clarity on.
Yep, the latter.
Well, that's the vibe I got too. So that yeah, cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Beck, Snapper's got a passenger. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
That's something.
It's pretty
We
fun.
We got all three all three toaster characters again.
That was crazy. That was fun. Being able to play Beck like kind of whenever I want is great, but because all of that is just like improv, like things that I think is just interesting to say. Like that would all be Beck's perspective, is like if he's living in this person's head like Erebus was living in his, then like I think Beck probably is irritated. It would have, just from like a character writing perspective, probably didn't like how quiet Erebus was. So if Beck was in the same situation, he would be communicative and say things and egg people on, because it's just the kind of person he is. So just very fun. That's fun. I can't wait to see how that all resolves.
it
The
won't
one thing-
resolve because the rest of the group is going to kill Snapper. They've done as much damage as the
I
enemy.
cannot believe 2 separate attempts
insane.
healing Snapper rolled
Like,
perfect
oh my God.
fails.
Not only failed,
was
critically
crazy.
failed.
200s. What
That's
the
a
actual
YouTube short
fuck
for
even
sure.
happened?
A meaner dungeon master would have just killed
After I rolled
Marty.
a 1.
Yeah.
And
Truly-
we'd be down a player now.
Statistically impossible. Like I cannot stress, because it's not just the 2 crit fails.
We had a
We
crit
also rolled a
success
crit
right
success
before.
right before. Exactly.
Yeah, we rolled a 1 and then 200s in a row.
Fucking crazy. That's genuinely insane.
I'm sorry for jinxing it, like right before I clicked the fucking button too.
Incredible stuff.
I can't believe maned wolves smell like weed. I didn't know this.
Oh yeah,
Popcorn.
I learned that when I moved to Seattle because they are on the edge of the Seattle Zoo. As you're driving by, you get a fucking face full of them.
Yeah,
You
it's
got to
very
see
dank
maned
there.
wolves?
Yeah,
I want to see a maned wolf.
Got that.
Come
dank
visit
man
Seattle.
wolf.
They have a roar bark.
they do.
It's weird. It's just a weird noise.
But do they have binturongs?
I've seen
I think
a
they do,
binturong. Wasn't there a binturong at the Sacramento Zoo? I think we saw a
Yeah.
binturong 2 years ago.
I saw it been wrong at the Rhode Island Zoo.
I feel like I'm really missing out here.
There's just animals around.
I don't know who Sandals is, and I haven't seen a binturong in person.
Binturongs
Popped
are
up.
weird.
Yeah, the one at the exhibit. What do you call it? Rhode Island was great because we were like standing pretty dang close to it, and it was very active and climbing around on stuff. Very cute.
Yeah, they're fucking actually really weird.
Oh, they're totally they're total weirdos. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm playing true to character here.
hmm
God, when we went to the zoo a couple years ago, I finally got to see my first fossa, and that's a weird ass creature I only knew existed because of
Ooh.
furries.
Yeah, same.
There was like the whole like Inked series, that comic series that had a fossa main character with a snake tail. So seeing one in real life, I'm like, they're real, and it just looks like a weird, fucked up persona in real life, kinda. Like it's like too cool of an animal. It's weird.
Someone in chat said,
Animals are neat.
why is every single No Playing Games church scene the worst thing ever? Look, at the beginning of next week, Conrad's coming back. He's going to shoot Papa Coyote and kill him in one shot. And Snapper is going to shoot Conrad. And that's what's going to happen.
I think gay people might have religious trauma
Did
that
Conrad invent the Supreme
comes
Gun?
out. In this case, the real answer is that Ka left seeds in the first season that weren't intended to necessarily be the story of the second season, I imagine. And now picking them up, you're like, well, Pastor Willis was name dropped in the first season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time to follow
There's a
up on
lot
that.
There's a lot of like molding that happens from session to session where like, you know, obviously Cape Escape 1, we've talked about this a few times, but Cape Escape 1 was sort of like an ascended home game. Like, I know everyone in the audience watched it from the perspective of like, this is a show we make for you all. And we did present it like that. But like when we started Cape Escape, we didn't have notions of like having an audience, or like it was truly Ka said, I want to play D&D with you. Do you know anyone else who wants to play, or like tabletop? And we were like, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. Can we do something with it so we like don't waste a night on our streaming schedules so that we can like do something with it? And Ka was like, yeah, sure, whatever, like who cares? We didn't really think it was gonna be the thing it became.
It's
so
just
like
fun
there
to
are a
stream
lot of,
tabletop. I've just done it most of the time.
yeah, and it's like
I didn't expect
it's a-
Ka to be powerful and turn it into a brand overnight. Like, I thought it was just gonna be a fun thing, akin to like how
Yeah.
like with Marty we used to stream Twilight Imperium, because like, hey, this is a whole thing we're putting work into. Why not just like do a little stream for funsies?
Yeah, exactly. But as we do that, like obviously the first time we did it, we didn't really think too far ahead. It was a lot of just ideas that kind of came up, and it was fun, and we could try things out and fuck it up and then drop it, or yeah, car.
Cool
Yeah,
car.
brother.
But then obviously when Dead Laws happened, we approached everything from a very, very different angle, where we're like, okay, we have an audience, we have a responsibility to the artists that we're paying to do this. Like we really want to like showcase different things. We want to have like better production values. Like if we are going to do this for an audience, we like owe the audience a certain degree of respect and a certain degree of production value. Like no matter how much that costs, like we can use this as a platform for like signal boosting like artists we like and working with people that we find like interesting and like things like that. And then after Dead Laws happened, like Dead Laws was like kind of, a lot of people love Cape Escape 1 and I love Cape Escape 1, but Dead Laws I think is where we put our like best foot forward and we came into it with the right mindset and we really planned everything and we were able to tell a very cohesive, very, very affecting, like thematically strong story. And in a lot of ways, I feel like Cape Escape 2 is an attempt to do that same thing with the framework that we created with Cape Escape 1. So there is, like, I don't think people are wrong, and I don't think that it's even disrespectful to ourselves to say, like, Cape Escape 1 was a very sloppy game, but we learned how to do this by playing it. And now Cape Escape 2 is a version of that game where we actually know what we're doing. And it's so much better for it, I think. And that's kind of where all these like strange throwaway plot threads, like we now have experience knowing how to pick up on things like that and like improv in the moment. So it becomes easier to write in weird hooks and like strange little things like that.
It's also just funny because like we've always just kind of had this tendency to have weirdly cohesive narratives with callbacks and so on. Like, it wasn't Ka's choice as the DM to make Ipecac like a setup and payoff the way that it was in season 1 and so on. Like, bizarrely, people keep looping back on things on a narrative instinct almost, and it's been funny seeing that play out for 3 seasons. Unhinged.
Yeah, I mean, and I can't speak for anyone else, but like Ka and I talk about the setting all the time and like other games we want to set in the setting. I know I've talked before about my Mafia game that I want to play at some point. I don't know exactly when that's going to land just because we have some other stuff in the pipeline that we're pretty excited about, but there's like other things that we can do with this now that we've like seen the setups that we have and like know the different players and like know how to create situations for each of you. Like there are, like everyone has a different play style and a different approach. And now that we know that, it is easier to queue up moments for people. Like the fact that there is a Jet and Melvin reunion is not just because Jet and Melvin were going to reunite at some point. It's because Keith is good at that. So you lean into that when you're writing and you enable those scenes to happen from a DM's perspective. And so like it's a lot of this is figuring out where those individual pieces are and figuring out how to align them serendipitously so that the players will naturally lean into their talents and then figure out where to go from there.
Don't forget about the Dakota and Boda reunion.
Yeah, the beautiful puns
Chess
that are so great.
Chess has a whole lot of lost stomach content in these campaigns. All 3 of Toaster's characters.
All 3 of my characters.
All 3 of his
and
characters
it was fun
throw up.
and funny. I don't know why that's becoming
So
like
funny.
a bit, but it is just a bit that can happen. And it is, I do think people like being totally composed and then puking and then being totally composed again is funny. Like that's a bit that I think is amusing, but
You have 2 characters throwing up from nerves and nausea and 7, and then you have Beck throwing up from curse.
yeah, Beck
in like
got
the second
his
episode.
His puke was slightly different because it was discorporation as punishment.
Yeah, it was a corruption.
Yeah. But yeah, very interesting. Very, very quirky. This session was really big. We got through a lot of stuff and we made it back exactly to where we wanted to be. And I guess this is where we can kick off the more of the idle banter stuff. But again, this idea of like, how do we pay respect to the people who watched the previous live session if we are going to roll back the clock? And hats off to Sage. So this was Sage's idea. Giving Snapper precognition is very cool. I really liked that. I thought that was very interesting.
Did I follow the flow of the chat correctly where it was Sage was like made it like, hey, like have him snap back out of a precognition thing, and then Ka was like, oh, maybe she should just puke a slug out.
Yeah. Ka mentioned the slug.
The data slug.
It was just like I was like laughing so hard when I read that. I'm like,
Wormed
okay,
its way into her while she passed out from Lotus fumes.
Yep.
Yep.
It was just
This
in that
was fun.
room.
This was a lot of fun to work out the mechanics and how exactly we wanted to implement the rollback.
Oh, it was definitely chaotic as fuck too, with like everyone like disagreeing on what to do, but I think that made it funny, and I think that was there's some entertainment in like not
Figuring it out.
yeah, like Keith hit the nail on the fucking head to her. Like, Javier wants to turn this into a game of Hitman. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That's literally exactly what I was thinking. Like, you know.
Some of us haven't been damaged enough to go into murder mode yet.
There was a Graffy's here. Hi, Graffy. There was a moment that I thought was really interesting in the chat where people made a connection that even I hadn't made, and I'm very curious about it right now. Someone in the chat said, "Wait, is Snapper related to Madoska?"
That sure would be interesting.
And frankly, if that's canon, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
I veto. I'm like hard pass.
Too much.
Yeah. You've reached the because the cool thing about doing Dead
Not
Lost
all
is
crocodiles know each other.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can't
It's
just
having,
say
like-
that. We're not even in Florida.
Exactly. You know, like having these cool connections because there's always going to be like, okay, yeah, Dead Lost is set in the same universe as in the past, so there's always going to be some connections that made it. But like, I was very much like, no, like Conrad is done. Not that I don't have some loose ideas about kind of like what happened with him in the space, but like, you know, like to me it was just kind of like, no, we're not. He's not showing up in this. Spoilers, like he's just not.
Yeah.
It's very like. This is the Star Wars element of like making your universe too small because you start connecting everything.
No,
Yeah.
making everyone's related gets annoying, yeah.
Yes,
I completely agree. To be clear, I'm bringing up the Madoska theory because I thought it was funny.
No,
not
it's definitely funny.
Because Madoska is a crocodile. I believe Snapper is an alligator.
Which one's which?
Alligators are from North America. Crocodiles are from not.
Crocodiles have the longer, skinnier snoots.
They're much more dangerous.
Whoa.
Checking notes.
A crocodile
which one
wouldn't be
is Toaster more afraid of?
crocodiles
Caimans.
easily.
The third option, caimans.
Oh no.
Caimans. I just learned that at the zoo a couple of years ago. It's like he's like he would not stop from repeating how afraid he was of the crocodiles that we were seeing.
But we had a good, I think this was a really good session, and I know a lot of people were wondering like, how are we going to make it back without just like feeling like we're power gaming? And I think
it's a fascinating remix of what happened the first time, because it basically took us like, we spent like 3.5 hours tracing the line that we previously did in like half an hour practically, but it's because like last time was so bare bones functionally that it's like this time we got so much out of it and ultimately ended up in the same place at the end of an entire session. But like, 'cause last time we just kind of like walked to the chapel with Melvin. No other discussion, no wider choices really being made. So much different played out. It's wild. We got to go outside. We found the boat. We got wider context. We know what the outside looks like. The inevitable like Beetlejuice worm realm of like what the fuck is keeping us in here. Turns out there's nothing in the world,
But
baby.
in a bad way.
There's just nothing.
I'm very thankful that Melvin did not get found on our way. Like that, like that was like I was so nervous about that.
We
the whole
kind of
time.
like walked into the fucking chapel last time with him just like in tow, right?
That would have been very bad.
Yeah.
We were a bit zonked at that point, so we just kind of didn't have a like deeper decisions being made. We just weren't really thinking much through. It just wasn't very interesting that way. And this is wild.
No, it's just been really cool to see like just how shit has been mixed up. Like it was really fun kind of referencing to what could have been, but also not actually knowing what it was. Like I think that Marty did like kick-ass job of just hinting at things.
That was very good. Very well handled.
Thank you. I was like, I want to play on it, but I also don't want it to be a lot. I don't want it to be a lot.
Oh, the winning lotto numbers.
I know this. We got to see, with Jet being pried away from Melvin, we got to see Jet give in for maybe the first time ever. It's not just being stubborn and powering through and defying literally the entire party to do something.
Who's under the fucking door?
Because last time we just fought everyone.
That's a good question. Who is under that door?
Uh-huh. They should stay there. They should
It's
just stay
definitely
down.
not Lampshade.
They
He's
should just,
accounted
they
for.
should just stay down. It could be Moorcock, or it could be a new character. I have no idea what the roster's like.
Let's look at the prison roster and see what the
Died, I
most
thought.
upsetting
There's like
name is.
100 people in there. At
Pretty
least
sure
half
we
of them
killed
are
Moorcock.
hands now. Moorcock has never been confirmed dead.
My guess is that it was Indianapolis.
No, that's not. That's what.
It could
Horny
be
name would-
Apple Bapple.
It needs to be a horny name. Ka came up with it.
Yeah.
It's true.
I came up with all of these names manually. It took me an entire night.
Oh no.
John Bottoms, Downey Brushwarden, Stunk Bruiser. That's a Star Wars name.
That is completely a Star Wars name. Yeah.
Stunk Bruiser. Yeah.
Yeah. That is
Yeah,
incredibly
yeah.
Star Wars.
That's who was under there. Stunk Bruiser. I'm convinced. The skunk. With no release date. He's a lifer.
Oh no.
Really appreciate that you fell into the Barochi voice for saying that you worked on it all night.
God,
That just
talk
happens to me.
about a big addition to this version of the show. Barochi, what a standout. I feel like we have a new fan favorite. Help. Bigfoot sniffer.
He was
Bigfoot sniffer.
How did you know?
For 2069.
He's also the worst character ever.
Yeah,
Just the
he's
worst
the best.
person we've ever met. Kyle was not ready in like session 1 or whatever when he just flashed a giant complicated document in front of me, and then I, the person who doesn't read documents in multiplayer settings, immediately spots the most important name in the entire list and just calls it out. He just casually put Willis Adler in the list of characters in the fucking roster, and immediately like, oh, I know Papa Coyote is. Like an hour into the fucking season.
Yep. I think I highlighted it on stream at one point just so that people saw it because I noticed it right away.
Yeah. Whoops.
Well,
So
now
no one
we
died
have,
yet.
Well, none of us died.
Nobody died this session.
Uh-huh.
I think
That we
yeah.
know of.
Well,
Very surprising.
our work. We did not for lack of trying.
We'll just not observe Ben Dover for a while and see how things turned
it's
out.
Benjamin.
Benjamin Dover.
Dover.
Benny Dover.
If he broke more ribs, he'll be better at it.
It's true.
Let's kill him, please. All right, folks. Well, I think that's going to be it for the stream. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a wonderful session. We will see you the week after next. We are taking next week off, and we will be back the week after that. Thank you so much. We will catch you later.
That's the 25th,
So you're-
right?
you're telling-
25th. We're back on the 25th.